What's your story? What's your sign? It's like we're twin flames in a different life. Deep connection lights a spark. It's like you know me in the depths of my heart. We're dreamers. Don't care what other people say. We're living like this could be our final day. We're dreamers. Don't care what the others say. We're doing this in our own way. We come alive in the nighttime. It's something about how we dance in the moonlight. That look in your eyes, it tells me that you want me and all my loving. We come alive in the nighttime. You and I, we come alive. We come alive.
Hi guys, and welcome to this week's video, which, yeah, it's been a long time. Sorry I haven't uploaded anything more recently. There's been a lot going on, and I don't really want to bore you guys with my own sort of issues. I know everybody has their own problems, and overall I am so lucky with the position that I'm in. I've got 3 fantastic ponies. Obviously we bought a new Lorry this year. That has turned out to be a little bit of a bigger project than initially thought, but that isn't because it desperately needed an awful lot of work doing. We've actually kind of gone at it and really sort of done quite a big upgrade on the Lorry, which I'm actually sat in at the moment. It's coming together now, and we have actually been off to our first competition, which will be next week's video. I've got quite a lot of footage to edit. It was a 3-day competition, but we really had this quite big time, really big deadline of this competition, and I'd already lost entry fees on another competition because I couldn't go to that one. So yeah, it was quite a big deadline, and things were taking longer, weren't going quite so sort of straightforward initially thought, as things never do. I've also managed to break my phone. I said I wasn't going to go into too much detail, but yeah, this is just some of what's been sort of happening, and I lost a lot of footage of what we've been doing on the Lorry, and then it was a case of really sort of prioritising getting the work done. So yes, I'm hoping now we're going to get back to a little bit of normality. I can start getting some regular content out. Buck's had a little bit of time off. The ponies have been actually fine. Bo has stepped up his work quite a lot because we knew that this competition coming up, and we're trying to get qualifying done by the end of June, which was fast approaching, and felt like a bit too much for a reach really. So increased his sort of workload a bit, tried to get him fitter, knowing that what was coming up. It's very hot. We have, like I say, we've done our first sort of competition now. I don't really want to spoil that too much, but yes, it's been all go, and it's been quite sort of stressful, but a stress that I kind of brought on myself, really taking on this project. But yeah, really pleased. Looking forward to getting out, competing, having fun, and yeah, just making the most now of the Lorry, which I have driven. I really enjoy driving it. It's a shorter wheelbase than my previous Lorry, which, although they're the same length, this one is a shorter wheelbase. It just means it is a little bit easier to sort of turn. It almost drives more like a car, and yeah, I just got to watch actually that don't get too much tail swing on it, because like I say, it's the same sort of length, so it's just got a bit more overhang, but it handles really well. So yeah, I'm really enjoying driving the lorry, and all the work that well, my dad has been fantastic. I say he's the king of DIY, he really is. I think he's looking forward to a bit of a rest from it now. We still have a few bits that we'd like to do. One of those being the ceiling in the horse section has got a few dents and yeah, from a previous occupant. So the idea is, because we've also got some new lights to put in here, is to actually redo the ceiling. But when we'll get round to doing that, it's perfectly fine as it is at the moment. Bo has his new fan, which he thoroughly likes. Let me see if I can. I've got just switch it on. I don't know if you heard it beep then. Yeah, it's an Air Plus Deluxe roof fan vent. We've made good use of it because it has been hot, and he definitely seems to be travelling much better in here. But I think part of that is also it's a lot lighter. He doesn't perhaps feel quite so enclosed, which will suit him. But that has definitely made a big difference, and I would highly recommend, if you've got a sort of stressy traveller that gets particularly hot, and you can get one of those sort of fitted, because that's gone back in an original vent place. If I get the remote control, it's on a remote control, which we actually keep up the front in the cab, so that we've got that to hand. See if I can get it working. So we've got it set on auto, so it'll open up, and I don't know if you can just sort of see it moving. And if I just turn my noise off on my mic, you'll probably hear some road noise now, but you might hear the fan running. So it's thermostatically controlled, and it will work. I think we got it set around 20, and then it will automatically switch off once it reaches the desired temperature, although at this heat it generally just stay on. So yeah, very, very pleased with that, and it's definitely been worth putting that one in for his lordship. He's very happy. I'll switch it off, and having it on a remote control is really, really handy. So that's Bo's fan, which he seems to be quite a big fan of, no pun intended. Yeah, I'm really, really pleased with that. I did a bit of research into them. I looked at the Max Air, and this is sort of a newer sort of competitor for the Max Air, and it was actually a bit cheaper as well, and it's gone into exactly the same sort of size hole as like the original vents, which we got one up there. It's just got a blackout blind on it, that one. So didn't have to, although it was sort of fiddly to do, and my poor dad went up on the roof to do it. It has gone in the original hole, so it didn't mean we had to cut any of the roof, which is quite pleased about, really. And actually it was one of the jobs that were kind of really sort of putting off, but it probably was one of the ones that went the easiest, believe it or not. And I'm really, really pleased with it. The fact that we got the remote control up in the cab, and we can control it from there, but we do basically just sort of leave it going on the auto, so that hopefully we can keep Bo as comfortable as possible. But like I said, I think it is more airy back there anyway, because he seems to have travelled in it really well. The major sort of thing that's been done, which is really sort of behind the scenes, is the electrical side of things has had a complete overhaul. Right back to the batteries, we got 2 new starter batteries on, and also a new leisure battery. Now the leisure battery is now a lithium battery, and it's a 300 amp hour, which is quite considerable size, but the actual battery itself is the same size as what was on there before, which I think was about 120 amp hour, but that was a lead acid battery, and that weighed a ton. So I think we saved a little bit of weight going to the lithium, but it did mean we had anything that we've used has to be compatible with that particular battery. So we've got a new DC charger that charges the batteries when the lorry is moving from the sort of starter batteries to the leisure battery. So that sort of trickle charges while we're sort of going to the venue. And then when we're on hookup, as we are at the moment at home, we have another charger, which is actually a charger and also an inverter. It's both. It's a really big piece of kit, and I will show you that one now. I'm going to take the seat cushions off, which are all back on, and show you the electrical side of things. It goes a little bit over my head, but yeah, it's fantastic what's been done. So in the first locker is the inverter charger, and it is a big piece of kit. Probably what we saved in battery weight we've actually added in this. Now this is currently taking the hookup charge and charging the batteries, and also providing mains power in the lorry. So it's currently charging at the moment. And over here on our control panel is a battery monitor, and that's showing that it's charging at the moment. It's currently at 97%, so it will charge up, and the voltage will probably come up to 14.3 once it's sort of fully charged. So that's quite handy to sort of keep an eye on how much sort of we've got left of our batteries. It's also got warnings if we're getting a bit low, so we can really sort of gauge how much power we're using when we're at a competition. And that is the control for the inverter. So that is a really impressive piece of kit. It's quite complicated to sort of set up. I'm hoping I don't have to do too much with it now. So I'm really impressed with that piece of kit. It means I can have a coffee machine and actually wake up and have a decent sort of cup of coffee. We use a pod machine, and yeah, we've already made good use of that. Like I say, we have already been to a competition, and yeah, although we did use quite a lot of power, we did not run out, and we were away for sort of 3 days. So that's fantastic. They will save obviously having to pay for hookup. Hopefully, obviously winter heating, although we have in this locker here, we do have a gas blown heater, and that's all been fitted now, and also just back there is the water heater, and here is the new water pump, which did cause a few issues. Might have seen the previous video, we had to relocate the water tank to in here due to the fact that the lorry had a hydraulic system fitted for the ramp, and they took away the water tank, and there was nowhere to put it back where it was originally placed. So that's why that is in here. So yes, the water tank and the whole water system did cause a few issues. One of them being that obviously the pipe work was all in, but the water tank and the water pump have been removed. So we tried to sort of flush the system through as much as possible, but unfortunately, obviously some gunk got to the toilet and the toilet wouldn't flush. So one of the days I actually had to spend with my head basically into the cassette compartment on the outside into the toilet, so I could get to, I think it's called a solenoid, which was completely sort of gunk. Well, it's really sort of quite gungy. So I had to clean that. Really pleased that actually cleaning it worked, because I would have been quite disappointed if I'd gone to all that effort and it hadn't worked. So yes, that was one issue. The water pump we've now got fitted is much higher pressure than what was originally on it. Obviously the water tank was removed some time ago. The kitchen tap broke, so yeah, we have water everywhere from that. Had to get that one replaced, and yeah, at one point I was spending an awful lot of time underneath the lorry. I've spent more time underneath this lorry, sort of relocating pipes, helping out, pulling wires through that needed to, using a lot of cable ties, Jubilee clips, which yeah, if I don't see another Jubilee clip for a while, I'll be quite pleased, because even at the last competition, one of them failed, and we did end up pumping out some of our water when I was having a shower. It suddenly stopped, and I was a bit like, uh-oh. So managed to switch the pump off, and then the next morning I was underneath the lorry. What other competitors thought, they I don't know. All you can see is my little feet out from underneath the lorry, but I've got to know my way around underneath the lorry because I spent an awful lot of time there. And I think it was one day it actually hammered with rain, like really heavy showers, and I was lovely and dry underneath the lorry. But then my mat that I used to get in and out was actually soaked. So yeah, I got soaked just trying to get out from underneath the lorry. But yes, so it's been interesting. Like I say, yeah, it was a bit like a few steps forward and a few back. Nothing went quite according to plan. It all took a bit longer, and a lot of it wasn't necessarily desperately needed doing. Obviously there was a few bits of the floor that we have replaced, nothing in the horse section because that was all done with aluminium planks, so I knew it was perfectly safe for him, but yeah, we have replaced a few areas of the floor that were beginning to sort of perish a little bit. The walls are actually fine. The odd place where we've obviously put a hole in for the water tank, and yeah, it was really, really solid. It was so solid it took a lot of drilling to get through it. It's got an aluminium skin, and then it had plywood which was sandwiched between sort of fiberglass. So yeah, I'm really, really pleased with the construction of it. And like I said, we've had an overhaul on the electrics, which is actually minefield, and a lot of it's down in here. And we've got a load of control panels. We've got USB points everywhere. Can't have too many USB points for charging phones and various bits and pieces. Even got one in the tat locker, so I can charge up his boots, his Ice5 boots from that. So yeah, now just really looking forward to getting some good use out of it. Like I say, we've got another stay away coming up, and I don't know what, well, hopefully if we can qualify for Aero Festival or regionals, we might obviously stay away for those. But the big one that I always sort of try and aim for is the Associate Championships, the end of October. So yeah, I'd like to do that one again. But just hoping now we can get back to a bit of normality. You might see that actually the other box is still in the background. That's going up for sale next few weeks. But we really were sort of putting everything into getting this one up and going, which it is now. Like I say, there's a few other little bits and pieces to do. But yeah, really excited to sort of get back to things, and I'm hoping now I can start getting much more regular content out. I really do apologise for the lack of content recently. Like I say, it's just there's been a lot going on. It all got a little bit too much at one point, really. Did sort of think taken on too much, tried to do too much with too short a time frame. But my dad has been fantastic, and so obviously so is my husband. He's really he's been so supportive with late nights, but yeah, really pleased with it. So another reason why we've got the sort of lithium battery, particularly a 300 amp hour one, is we have a new fridge, and it's a 12 volt compressor fridge. So it's not a three-way, it doesn't run on gas. Which is great because it's one of those little jobs, switching over to gas when you get to a venue, that I found really fiddly. And my timekeeping is rubbish, so not having to worry about doing that, particularly with it's been so hot, we obviously don't want food to go off. So yes, our new fridge is this Camper Cool. It's quite tall, but slim. It has a freezer compartment, which has got ice packs in at the moment. Plenty of room in the door for bottles of beer and cans of gin and tonic. And we do carry 2 water carriers in it as well. So yeah, plenty of room for all the food we take and then bring back at the end, which is always the case. But yeah, really pleased with that. I've just literally put it on, so it's currently reading about 26 degrees because it is really warm in here. But once that's down to temperature, I can put food in it. So one other sort of bit of a gadget we've got is this frame here, which hopefully will mean I won't fall out of bed if we're parked on a slope. Because that's always a little bit of a concern with the Luton. I don't think I've ever had a proper night's sleep on a lorry because of the fear of rolling over and rolling out. But yeah, really looking forward to sort of getting a better night's sleep, because I know I can't fall out as long as I put it up. But yeah, so right, now I need to start loading the lorry back up, because like I say, we are back out to another competition. It's a really sort of quick turnaround. So I wanted to get this video recorded, although it probably won't go out before we actually go to that competition. But yeah, like I say, Bo's welfare is my top priority. If at any point I think he's struggling, then I will withdraw from class or the competition. But he's feeling really good. So yes. Like I say, next week is our 3-day competition from Chard. Now, if I can get it out early, I will try, but I have got a lot of editing to do on that. So we'll see how that goes. And then I've also got this upcoming competition as well. But yeah, it's great to be sort of back out competing. And yeah, I enjoy it. I enjoy the social side as well, and sort of seeing other people. Yeah, so back to some form of normality. Although it does feel very full on at the moment, but I enjoy it, and I gotta go keep with that mindset. It's fun. I've got to enjoy it, and yeah. I'm loving the new box very much. But if anybody's got any sort of questions, I don't know all the sort of technical details. Obviously, we've got this, I don't even know how you pronounce it, Renegade inverter charger. I think this is a 2000 watt, but so far it's been a fantastic piece of kit, and I'm really sort of looking forward to sort of being able to sort of utilize it really, being able to have sort of mains equipment, whether it be the coffee machine, perhaps a small heater. It is going to be sort of fantastic, and the fact that it charges the battery up from the hookup once we're home, very, very pleased. And the fan is fantastic. I could highly recommend that one if you're looking for, I think it's an Air Plus Deluxe, and the fact that it goes in the sort of the whole size, we didn't have to cut a bigger hole, which we were very grateful for. I'm going to do the ceiling in the hall section. We're probably going to use some form of soffit board cladding, I think it is, we're looking at to do that, and then fit some new lights, which will be blue for travelling at night, so they should switch over. So there's still a few sort of bits to do, and one of the other jobs I've got to do is get the awning out and get that sort of make sure that's sort of working. So we haven't had that out yet. Yes, but still, like I say, still bits to do. But on the whole, got sort of everything up together. Gonna make good use of it. Right, I'll see you guys again next week.